Welcome to Megawhat. I am here with Alistair from Advanced Communication Solutions. He promises to make me some custom sleeves for some headphones, which is going to cut out the noise of awful people and tube noises and make my music sound better.
Definitely they will do. Improve the sound, bring the bass up, better isolation.
How do we start?
Well, Susie, first of all, we have to check both your ears to make sure they're healthy, no perforations of the eardrum, no infections in the ear canal. So
okay.
I shall start with that. It looks a bit waxy, but we may be able to get an impression of it. Okay, Susie, next I'm going to place a cotton bud in each ear. Basically, this is a precautionary to stop the material from seeping too far into your ear.
And getting into my brain.
Getting into your brain, exactly, and then coming out your nose and everything.
Okay, so whilst you're sticking this cotton bud in my ear, why are these custom headphones, or the sockets, so much better than the ones you just get if you picked up a pair of headphones from your local store?
Well, they are way better because they are moulded to your ear and your ear only. As a result, they fit perfectly.
So is there an advantage to, does it mean my hearing's going to be slightly safer?
Yes, your hearing will definitely be safer because you'll be able to listen at lower volumes because you won't need to crank it up because you got the sound of traffic or when you're on the tube or people. Yeah, so because of this isolation, your ears will be safer and more protected.
So what is this that you're about to put in my ear?
This is a two-part silicone mix. It looks very much more medical and serious than what it is.
Yeah, it looks like plumbing material. Are you going to do some grouting?
No, I'm afraid I'm not.
Okay, all right, I'm ready.
Maybe just keep still for me. I'm just going to place a cannula in the ear and then begin to slowly fill the ear up.
Oh, that feels really odd. And it is cold. And it does feel like I'm underwater.
You okay with that?
Yeah, that's not necessarily unpleasant, but it is very strange feeling. So I've had my custom moulds finished, and it turns out that my ear canals look something like this. So we're in Banbury to find out how this turns into this. So I'm here with Andy, who is the guy that makes all this magical stuff happen. So Andy, you're going to walk us through exactly the process. Where does it start?
Right, basically we start with a nice sharp scalpel. What I'm going to do is just trim off any excess from the mould, which you don't need any longer.
Okay.
Next one I'm going to place these impressions in wax. Helps it remove from the silicone gel easier. Right,
so that's just a thin cover to...
Yeah, it's wax set at between 80 and 85 Celsius. Take some rings. Now this is a two-part silicone material which we use to cast the moulds up. So all I'm going to do now is pour it over there. Very gently to avoid any air bubbles if possible. That will take about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to set.
And it ends up looking like...
These ones here.
Something over here.
Yeah. This one's set.
It's just like Blue Peter.
Yeah, this one's made earlier.
Nice.
Nice set, nice and rubbery.
Yep.
Then all we do, take the impression and pop them out.
Cool. So where do we take these?
These now we take over to another wax pot where we do the actual casting of them. Then again, place on the work surface. Get 2 rings. These are bigger ones than that.
With my enormous ears.
Then this is the water-based gel, which you can recycle.
Right.
A certain amount of times. And this again is, it will take about a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes to set. Right. To a jelly, like round trees jelly goes off like. But you can't eat it though. Like that.
Cool.
And that's done now. And then that's the set.
So that sets for 20 minutes. And is it then the exciting bit? Do you get to choose your colour?
Indeed, you can choose any colour you like,
and
well, within reason.
Am I right in thinking you can go glittery, you can go...
You can swirl
or black,
you can match colours up to have it like a traffic cone.
And I've had a quick look and I've come across this, which looks suspiciously like a kind of neon orange, which is a colour very close to my heart. So I pick that for my moulds.
Okay.
So we better come back in 15 minutes when those are set.
Okay.
So the silicone has set, and we're on to the next stage. So what are we doing?
Right then, Susie, what we do next, we're going to take the impression out of the gel. Done.
Looks pretty good so far.
Okay, so far. Well, next we're going to squirt some our coloured silicone into the mould.
I think this is my favourite bit.
Take a cannula with a little tip on the end, screw it on, take a gun. Now this process, all I'm going to do is squirt a small amount of silicone in to then set the base, so we can insert the jigs.
Lovely.
Nice bright colour, so you'll be seen for miles around.
Excellent.
Now what we'll do now is put in the pressure pot to get rid of any air bubbles that may be in the moulds. Put it out 1.5 bar, leave for say 5–10 minutes.
Right, okay.
And then hopefully they should be set.
So whilst we're waiting for that to set, we're going to check out the lasering, which can be done on any of the custom headphones, whatever I want, is that right?
Correct, indeed, yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing?
On this one, we're putting your initials, or your name on there, Susie on there. So on this mould, which I'm doing for you, I want to etch your name on this mould.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
So place it into the laser, line it up. Hopefully. Done.
That is cool.
Drop of alcohol. This is a drop of alcohol just to clean off when you mark the mould.
Okay.
You get a residue on there. Right. There's
It does?
mould with your name on.
Nice, it does. It says Susie. Now let's go and check out how my moulds are doing.
Okay, now we're taking out the pressure pot.
Have my moulds set?
Nicely set.
Awesome.
Yeah, now we'll take them to the drilling bench and we'll get them drilled.
Okay, so over here, this is where the technical bit happens.
These are dummy HF2 modules,
Right.
which I'm going to implant into the mould, drill them in place, and then, as I said, backfill around it.
I see.
Now we want the module to fit as far as possible down the ear canal.
I see.
Yeah, so we've got
So you get the best possible sound.
Yeah, so we've got obviously small ears, so we can't go too far on these, unfortunately. But you know, so long
It's
as
always
you
been my problem, small ears.
cut that off.
And you can make that bit quite small, presumably, because you're going to fill it in again afterwards and
Yeah.
you're going to build it up.
We can build around the module.
I see.
They're aligned. Taking debris out. Now this can be a hit and miss as well, but it's to find out how exactly it fit in your ear. So laying back in there.
So as long as that larger metal bit sticks out that way, then that will not be uncomfortable in my ear, it will fit in.
As long as it's not coming down the bottom ear, because that will also hit on the bottom of your ear.
Right, I see.
That's fine. So just trying to.
Okay. Excellent, okay.
Now we're going out. You just clean this off so nice and clean. And then
and we're going back to the neon orange?
Get back to our colour. So we just backfill around the modules. And same again in the pressure pot.
Back in the pressure cooker.
15–20 minutes to get set.
Awesome. So from here, these are going to get rehardened. They're then going to get cut down to size, sparkled up, polished up, and eventually I will have my very own pair in my hands. So all that remains is to say thank you so much for making me some custom headphones.
Great, thank you.
So here they are, I got them back, and they do absolutely fit in my ears. And let me just position them. They're a bit fiddly to fit in at first, but yeah, I have to say the sound quality is amazing and you can't really hear any of the traffic around, which is fantastic. Now if you want a pair of these, what you have to do is go off, get yourself to an Apple store and go and get the Etymotic Hf2s. Now when you get these, they cost £90 and you'll find this. It's somewhat of a golden ticket. It's basically something that entitles you to go to an audiologist, such as Boots on the high street, and they will take moulds of your ears, they get sent off, and you will go through exactly the same process that you've just seen, and for another £90 you will end up with your very own pair of custom fit headphones. So for £180 you get the Etymotic headphones themselves, and then you get these custom moulds, which I have to say are worth their weight in gold. They change your music experience, and I am a massive fan.